Hey everybody, my name's Randy Wittis, that's my shop, and that's the Chevelle. Today, we're cutting up this quarter panel. See you in a minute. Ready, set, go. No. Whoopsie. Gonna hurt. So there's something that I wanted to go over. You know, we saw the process through the other quarter panel and the cutting of the wheel well and splitting it and welding and all that good stuff. Tidbit information I want to share at the moment. That would be tape measure. You want to measure, because my car has this problem. Nobody else's probably has this problem, but mine does for some reason. And I'm gonna have to find out why. But make sure that you have the same distance from the rim to the top of the wheel well. So we're at 15 3/4, not from here to here, okay? If your car's perfectly level and all that good stuff and your concrete's perfectly level, go that route. And the reason that I'm saying this right now is my floor's not level. My car currently isn't level until I get that straightened away. But I know the distance from here to here needs to be the same, and that's close. I will make an adjustment with the jack right here. And I'm saying this because when this tire moves up and down in this wheel opening, the radius of that tire changes distance. So if you're trying to make sure you got clearances, and for example, if this side was lower, then this distance here would be greater because of the curve. If it's higher, if this distance is greater, meaning the car is higher, then this distance is shorter, if you see what I mean. See that? So, tidbit information, and that's what we're checking out right now. And I've been dealing with it for a little while. Just trying to set my, so to that corner, 3 1/4-ish, okay? There's ishes in this game. As things change, and let's go 3 1/4-ish. Depends on where you move that tape measure. So find it where you're happy, find it where you got enough clearance, and see that's a little more, but you know, I got to move this in because this is out some, that kind of stuff. It's all going to change it. So you want to make sure you check it. Check it twice and 4 more times after that. And I get out of breath when I have to bend over. I don't know why. See you in a minute. All right, well, lifted the car up. Did the plumb bob thingy. You know, as you can see. And it's taped off the back of, you know, drapes over the back of the axle. And measured from the front piece here. I just moved my plumb bob. So that's always easier with 2 people. Anyway, it's 27 3/16 ish, or an eighth, whatever. Depends on where I set it, I guess. And then we can go over here. Had to switch hands and run that up to there. And as soon as that quits swinging around, just hit it again. Again, depends on where I put it up there. So this is 27 1/16. So I think I can deal with that. You know, it's a twist of one little arm, half a twist, whatever. But my point is, it's not going to make a big deal gappage-wise here. Because, you know, we're just eyeing it like that. Okay. And since the tire is dropped, now that's gone to basically, let's say, you know, 2 1/4 inches to the corner. And well, depends on where you put it. If you want to put it there, it's 2 1/4 inches. If I put it up here, it's not 2 1/4 inches. So just, you know, wherever. So fun. So I'm going to pull this down right here somehow. Oh man, it's just wrapped around there. Anyway, I'm got to put the camera down because apparently it takes 2 hands. See ya. Well, this video I'm not going to show a lot of detail, but this is where I get my patch panel from for the wheel wells. Reason being, it's got that little thing right there. And it's got some rust back there, and if it doesn't clean up, I'll have to just make something. But just trying to use metal, you know what I mean? See how that works? So I gotta flatten this out, clean this metal up, and make this baby fit. See you in a minute. It's not. See? Close, but it's not. And, you know, if I trimmed it out, would it fit? I could make it fit, probably. But I don't want to. I want it to lay in there. So, we'll mess with it a little bit more. See you in a minute. Okay, well, after beating on that for a couple hours, even though it was a pre-made piece just about, just trying to get that little bit of an angle on that wheel well, it's a real pain in the ass. So, I have to treat the rust on the back side, see if I can even use this piece. Might be full of holes. See ya. Okie dokie. Well, we got it cleaned up. We got it scribed. We got it cut out. There were some pits on the back, but nothing through. So, we're gonna go with putting a couple tacks on this thing and getting her held in place. You know what I'm saying? Try to, you know, do something the easy way, and you can't. All right. It's gonna be fun. It is. It's going to be okay, though. stuck to the end. All right, we got a good tack. First one. It's unusual, you know. Yeah, what this one will do. That was okay. Pull together and like ooh. Something weird happened right here. It pulled, and now it's too tight. We can fix it. There we go. Now, flash burn on that one. Okay, well, good thing is This didn't melt away, but I do have it on 20. So, all right, we got it in one piece. Now, kind of. So we step back and we take a look. And I don't have the car, you know, lifted up like it's supposed to be, but you get the point. And there's this one. And hard to see the difference because we're too close. But we're making progress. That's all that counts. We get that all taken care of. And then we start on the lip on the inside and then rebuilding everything. Yeah, you know the drill. So yeah. Hey, we can't forget about that water. Okay, this was the second puddle, which was all dried up. Flowed into that puddle, and now that puddle is going that way. Okay, everybody. So the water situation just puddled over there and I cleaned it up. So forget about that. Back to cutting the other side of the quarter panel. And I've been measuring and double measuring and checking, and just to make sure I'm not messing up, because I do that a lot. But if you look at the back of my car, it's not level. Like, why is that? Well, that's a good question. I put the jack underneath there to get the same measurement from side to side, as we said earlier, from here to here. So you know, we're between 15 3/4 and 16, depending where we put the tape measure. And so this side, same thing. Well, we're about 15 3/4. Again, if you move that tape measure a little bit, that's going to move it and change it. And you know, we have two arcs we're dealing with. So within 1/4, it's pretty close. But I'll check that some more, because I just moved that and readjusted. So what's been bothering me is if you go, disregard the cardboard down here, and we're gonna go to the lip, and let's just say 23.5 to here. Let's go over here. No cardboard, but that's not that much. And it's 22 7/8. That cardboard isn't, and if we put the cardboard, we would be probably here, around the 22 5/8 somewhere. Anyway, you get the point. We're off a little bit from side to side, from the floor to the wheel well. I've explained to you about the water thing. Up in here should be my flattest part of my shop, give or take. So, if we, and I've had this problem with this car since I've owned it. It's always, that side's different than this side, wheel well to wheel well. I thought I would be fixing this since I've cut everything apart. The other thing, if you want to just kind of craps and giggles, from the floor to the top of that quarter panel. Let's just go with 33. Come over here. And we're not 33, we're probably 32 and a half. Okay. And I measured it. I took my little level and put it on the quarter panel and measured it, so I got a more accurate measurement. But I can't hold the camera and do that same time. I guess I could put the camera on a chair or something, but you get the point. It's off. It's not level, yet that's fine. When I say that, I mean from here to there, we're fine, because it cheated. And the reason I want it from here to there the same is to get this back here. So I've checked. I have new body mounts, so it's not a body mount issue. As far as how the car sits, if I let it back down, let's do that. Let's let it back down. Okay. Settle the car out. Well, it's not moving much. And we have the jack in the way. And yeah, the bumper's really loose. So, but you know, we can kind of gauge it here. That we're about the same. Whatever. Now look at the back of the car. And I'm not looking at the bumper. I'm looking at the deck lid and the quarters and the roof. And that says, looks pretty good. Looks pretty level. Now let's go back to here. And we're 22 and a half-ish, 5/8. And 22 and 7/8, and if we did, let's add 3/16 for the cardboard. Let's just do this. Let's get a piece of cardboard. You know, this cardboard is smashed and crushed and been used and walked on. So this piece I tore off is probably going to be thicker. But we'll just do that. Alright, so we are 22 3/4. $22 and 5/8. Well, that's not as bad as it's been. Okay, well, forget it. Forget what I said. I don't know. It is what it is. Let's measure from here to here quickly. And we are 15 and let's just say 1/4. Give or take a 1/16. And what are we over here? We are 15 7/8. Okay, see, that's my point. That's the weird stuff that happens. Why is that? I don't know. The other thing I checked was from this here to this here, and that was within a 1/16. So like I said, sometimes I just don't know, and I just have to end up going with it no matter how many ways I check it. Let's go. Yeah, 9 1/8 from there to there. We're going by this little crease. And this is hard to measure on, holding it on a style line. Style lines, I don't know if you can see the style line, but it's 9 1/8 right there. So I'm going with it. See you in a minute. All right, one last measurement, and this one's kind of hard. From this point here to up here, going straight across this style line as best I can, holding the tape measure, and do it that way with the camera. No. Right there, 28 1/2 to the edge of the wheel well, right there, from here. Over here, what are we? What are we gonna be? I already know, because I already did it. It is, well, again, trying to, 28 1/2. Sometimes we get lucky, or we just measure a lot. So, there you go. I'm gonna take that off, clean it up, blue ink it, scribe it, trim it out. Right, so you saw me do a lot of grinding and all that kind of good stuff, cutting. All right, so we've got it set up. Now I'm not gonna weld this thing up in the air like this because there's all kinds of weird tensions going on from it being lifted up. See, my gap's bigger up here, closer down here. So new, that's big new. So we'll bring her back down on the ground. Here, move garbage out of the way. Anyhow, what I did, got it ground, got it cleaned up to the edges, and I took my little saw blade where it was tight and just ran it through there. You can run it through at an angle and get it opened up, and then run it through a little straighter. That'll open it up a little more. And I see a couple spots. It's a little tight. I don't want it that tight. I want a little bit of a gap. Because as I bring this thing down, it's going to change. So you got to keep that in mind. This one right here would cause a big old problem. See, I was not sitting flat, and that's from it being up in the air, believe it or not. So we'll get her on the ground. See, now this one's flat. This is nice. It's looking good. So we'll get her back down on the ground, clean up some more gaps, and start doing some welding. Yay, more welding. All right, I got all my gaps going and everything. Everything looks pretty good. Little magnet to help keep things flush. This has settled down quite a bit. I had to open that gap back up. So there's something, there's some little clamps. I'll be right back. All right, well, I was gonna try this little clamp here, which would be great. I'd have to open it up all that wide, which I really don't want to. You know, right there, just to get that in. And then you have to get to the back side to put this little doohickey in, and then you tighten it up. Can't get my hand back there because of the tire. And I'm not taking the tire off. So we're not going to use these. We're going to keep going with my little idea. Seems to work okay. So there we go with it. Let's start welding. I don't know if you saw, but after I run a little saw blade through here, I get little burrs on the edge. That's why I've been going over it with a little lady grit. Smooth things out. So then my little magnet fits nice and flush. And that needs to be cut some more. Maybe. Yeah, it does. That's too tight right there. Now, these little clamps work great. I don't know if there's a different thickness you can get here, or this thickness would actually work better for what I'm doing. I'm sure it would. I've just never used these. And if you watched the other video when I did the other side, I didn't do this. Well, I learned something from the other side. I got a little bit of a buckle, I guess you could say, because as I was going along, it was pulling things together, kind of created a buckle right here on the other side. When I say buckle, it kind of just comes out and goes in. And I've been having to do a lot of metal work, or I did a lot of metal work to get that worked out, some shrinking and whatnot. And I'm trying to not do that this time. So, taking a little more time being a little more cautious. See if it pays off. Okay, I have to stop now. Created a big boo-boo so far that I need to straighten out. And I did not see that coming. I don't know why. But we can't leave it like that and continue on. Because I noticed it was creating a buckle up in here. And I'm like, why is that doing that? And then, well, I looked right there. That's why. So, luckily this is still cut. So I'm gonna have to work this straight before I continue. All right, so I had to do relief cuts here. It was too tight, it was wanting to bind some. And that little thing is hard to control. I don't know if it's just that saw or if there's better ones out there. I recommend spending your money on the better ones. And that was one of the better ones. But we looked down there, looking for nice and even. I think we got it. Our buckle, we still have a higher spot right here. It's right there. Might have to cut that weld if we can't suck that in. This takes a while. No matter how careful you are, things go wonky. Just go slow. Go and hammer that in, didn't you? Holy cow. Well, that helped. That was the problem. The weld was out, and this right here was starting to bind because it was sucking together. Something I want to add here. So, okay, we had to relieve this. That helped that out tremendously. Also helped it when the saw blade smacked the crap out of it. This area here has given me a little bit of an issue. So I've had to push or pull the panels to make them line up. Now keep in mind, my little tabs kind of throw things off depending on where it is. So I've been trying to stay way ahead of it so that won't happen. But anyhow, I'm having to cut my gap all the way back each, every time, not every time I weld, but what I want to get to here, okay, this isn't matching up. Don't just push panel in and assume that's what it is, because if you're not careful, what's going to happen is you're going the wrong way. Does this panel need to come in that way, or does this panel need to come out this way? And in this case, it's this panel needs to come out this way. Okay? So if you were to push that in, you'd create a concave problem. The reason I know this is because I've done it, and yeah, experience. So keep welding. Okay, so we got down around here. We got this nice and flat. Got some burrs because I had to keep, as I was going down, it kept pulling tight. So I had to keep running the saw through it, keep my little tiny gap. Then I came up here and cut these, because this was butt up against itself, which relieved a buckle that was up in here. Now I feel one here. So, although my gap is there, it's pretty tight. May have to cut that, relieve that. But let's get down around this side and see how tight that is. There isn't a gap. So we're gonna have to run the saw through that. Open that back up. Those other little clamps looking pretty nice. See you in a minute. Okay, boys and girls, she's tacked into place. All we gotta do is some more welding. But I think that came out a lot better than the other one. Maybe that could have been very little wobblage. We got it straightened out because we cut our spot welds back open. This seems a little deepage versus back there, but that may be the way it's supposed to be. It's old man noises. Having to stand back up. So, stand back, look at it, and go, all right, see you in a little bit. Something malfunctioned, but anyway, so back to what we just did. We've got all this welded up. I know there's some holes in it that I need to fix, but I'm going to take the quarter panel off, put it over there, and start grinding the welds off, doing some hammering and dollying and all that good stuff. So, see you in a minute. Okay, I got the quarter off, and I'm going to show you all the holes that are still in here. Well, I see one right there. But I'm gonna turn the lights off. So, voila. See it? Can't see that stuff by the naked eye because of, you know, the burning. And the dark welds. Yeah, but we got some more work to do. Let's weld that stuff up and get her fixed. See you in a minute. Well, it's ground down a lot, but we got a hump right here. Not so much over there. I mean, a little bit. I'm not terrible. But right here, it's going. Not there. It actually goes in a smidge. That went way in, but I'm not worried about that. So, gonna have to do the hammer and dollying. See if we can't get that to work its way out. Not sure if it's just because it's laying on this or what, but got to figure it out. So we got to get to work. Okay, well, she looks better, feels better. Not as much as a whoop right here. feels nice and round. Basically, I hammered on the weld, flattened her back out. A lot more work to do right here. You know, I had an issue here because of, you know, cutting so much out. You've got this taper right here that's not quite matching up, so we'll have to get that to match up a little better, a little more straight. Get this to match up a little better. It's coming around. A lot of work. Hey boys and girls, so we're back. We got the quarter panel pretty well straightened out. We've got it all sanded down. We've got this straight, all that feels good. I will still do a little more work once it's back on, but we are moving on. When I say moving on, I sanded the back side and epoxied and put my weldable primer on. And now what's going to happen, that's pretty good, did that one-handed. Now what's going to happen is I'm going to make this trim piece around here, but you've seen that already, and that was in video 108. And everything I'm getting ready to do, I've made a video on doing the other side. So I'm going to cut this video short. At this point, I just wanted to go over a few things as far as what it took to make that wheel well match the other side and the issues that I had to deal with. Hopefully you won't. But thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you on the next video.